No water, but you gotta name 3 countries.
Huh?
Name 3 countries.
Texas.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay, one more.
Georgia.
Got it, bro. Take care, bro. Now you gotta water. Be safe, man. Fuck! Hold on.
Hey.
Which one the smartest one?
I can name 20.
Hold on.
He recording right now.
Hold on. Okay, no. Name me. No. You name 3 countries.
Hey, tell him you see me.
Hold on. Name 3 countries. Yeah. Hold on.
Brasilia, China, and
No, you gotta name 3. Name 3 countries.
Houston, Brasilia, and what's it called?
Mexico.
Hey, did you see? Hey, you graduated from
As a
Alright. The main thing that bothers me with this video is that title down at the bottom. Black fathers have failed their son. And as a community, we gotta stop this kind of rhetoric. We can't be pointing fingers at individuals. Because we are a community and we haven't been operating as such. To be a man, to consider yourself a man, is a community title that symbolizes that you are a part of a community of men who work together to build, protect, and provide for their community as a whole. Just like being a woman is a community title that says you are working with other women to nurture, teach. Now we are in new times from those old ways, right? Which require a little adjustment because this system has done a good job at breaking the old system down for its benefit. That system was a healthy system because it gave the community structure towards growth in a positive direction, and they have dismantled that structure to create confusion and chaos within, which got us pointing fingers at individuals and pointing fingers at each other, getting mad at each other, got us focusing on us instead of this system. The system is supposed to be in place to organize us to our benefit. Black people don't have a system. We're operating under the system of another race, another community. And that community has made it clear they don't care about our growth and development. In fact, they've made it clear that they want the exact opposite. They don't want us to grow and they don't want us to develop. Yet, so many black males claiming success has done nothing for the community. In my neighborhood, I notice in the schools that my daughter is going to, more and more Mexican children are starting to attend. I also noticed that more and more of the housing is being bought up by Mexican owners. And I'm almost certain there are no group of black successful people competing to maintain their neighborhood. The opportunities are here and they're not jumping on it. So this area is probably going to be taken over. We have no structure. We're not organized. And we're pointing the finger at each other as individuals instead of holding each other accountable as a community, as a group. Every other race is moving accordingly. They're acting as a community. When they spend money on these apartments to buy the apartment, it's so that they can create housing for their community. Yes, they want to profit too. That naturally comes along with it, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is to organize their people within a city ran by white people. And they're doing a good job at that, except for black people. And this city, Atlanta, is full of black people. And I'm sure we got some things going on somewhere. But here, it looks like the Mexicans are about to take over. And that's crazy to me. But we supposed to have a system in place for these children that support these children. Nobody knows the things that, nobody seems to care about the things that they're going through when they are raised in broken homes. Everybody would rather abandon them than to come up with some systematic support. White people are not going to do that. That is why it is up to black men and women to step up for their own community. Why would y'all expect another community to do that? And that is why no one respects us as a community. We generate all this wealth and do nothing with it. Tied up in this matrix. Focus on materialism. But no, it's not the black fathers that are failing these kids. The system is failing these fathers. How can you expect people that didn't have a proper development themselves to raise children properly or be in a position to raise them properly? Sex is being pushed in our community in so many different ways. So naturally, you're going to end up with a bunch of people having children. And I'm not going to sit up here and say we shouldn't be having children, because we need to maintain our population. There's strength in numbers. But unorganized numbers is chaotic. Nevertheless, we still need numbers to maintain things, so that when we finally get organized, that's not the issue. Numbers is not the issue. So I'm not going to sit up here and say we need to stop having children. We definitely need to continue that. We just need to give these broken families the support they need. And the only way you're going to do that is to separate from this system that you know is not for you. Create your own. Rebuild from scratch. Start your own communities. Regain your independence. These kids don't care nothing about how many countries there are. That information is completely irrelevant to the struggles that they are going through right now. They don't even know what they want to do with their lives, yet alone care about a country. They have no direction other than be a rapper, be a football player, basketball player, boxer, entertainer, basically. That's the only direction they got, being an entertainer. So what do they care about the different countries out there? That means nothing to them. It's not that important. It's not that serious to come on here and point your fingers at each other about. Yes, it would be nice if they knew that stuff. That would mean that they care about that stuff, and that would mean that they have a direction in life where that information is beneficial to them, which would be a good sign, because that would mean that we are likely organized and thinking on that level that we're supposed to be thinking. But by no means should we be skipping the basics, as we have been doing for the longest. And that is organizing ourselves as a community, be able to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, house ourselves, maintain ourselves without the assistance of others. That is the foundation. That is a solid foundation. Without that, we're operating off somebody else's foundation. We have no control over our lives. So all this pointing fingers at each other, we've been doing that for years. It's going to continue because there's nothing nobody can do about it if they're not organizing the community, if they don't care about the community. So don't call yourself a man if you're not trying to organize your community. Don't call yourself a woman if you're not trying to organize your community. Right now, we're filled with a bunch of hustlers, gangsters, entrepreneurs, all those other titles, all those other community titles. Because being a man is a title within itself. You identify as a wolf, some type of animal, you're a vulture, you're a snake. You're not a man if you're identifying with all these different titles, because it contradicts each other. They conflict with each other. You're not a woman if you're identifying with a hoe or whatever. None of that stuff. Because they contradict. And most of the people within this matrix are going to maintain that mentality. They're only a man and a woman when it benefits them. Otherwise, they're everything else in between when it benefits them. So the small group of people who know better have to come together and do better and create a pathway for those who want to be better. That is the only move we got. We can't help our people within a system that doesn't want to help them. It don't matter how much of their laws we learn, how much of their degrees we earn. They're not going to allow you to take over their system. And you shouldn't want to, because their system is toxic. It's designed to destroy the people that operate within it. It's not designed to help the people that operate within it. It's designed to exploit. This is not a good system we're operating in. And if they want to continue operating in it, let them. We need to create our own. These children need options. I sat up there and saw a kid today at the bus stop. Visually sad. Still in elementary school. I've seen this dude cry throughout the years he's been living in this neighborhood. I can't help him. Probably end up in a bad situation trying to. I don't know exactly what he's going through, but for him to be going through all these different emotions, that's sad to see. And he has a father and a mother both present in his life, but clearly there's love lacking. And I'm not sitting up here saying they're physically abusing him or anything like that. He just may be struggling to cope with the toxic ways of the world, right? They may just be trying to kill the heart within him. So I see him developing into somewhat of a, I don't want to say a monster, that's too strong, but that's too strong of a word, because I don't think he's going to be violent or anything, but he's going to go through this system just like a lot of other males, not caring about their community because their community didn't care about him. One thing about these kids in this video that's on that doing that water bottle stuff, those look like kids that are not necessarily sad. They look like they have a little joy in their life. They look like they appreciate the little things because they're growing up poor. And their parents are probably not as strict on them and stuff like that. They probably actually get to be kids. Sadly, that will probably make it that much harder on them growing up in a system where if you're not taught to be hard, cold, calculated, it may come back to bite you in the ass. So we need a better system, man. These kids, we shouldn't be waiting on them to do the work for their next generation when they're already going to be just as broken. Even the so-called successful people in this system are the most broken. They don't care about their community. They so caught up in this matrix, trying to make a comfortable living for themselves. They don't care about nothing else. For the most part. And they spend all that hard work getting these degrees, learning how to navigate that system. and realize it was all for nothing. It was all useless because they can't use that. They can't take over this system. They're not going to beat these people in the game, and they shouldn't want to, because you would have to become just like them just to take it over. So you spend all that time in school learning these lies, because all those degrees and all this stuff is just for them to control you and use you to their benefits. They were like, okay, they went through this for us. Okay, we'll give them a reward for that. That makes them useful to us. But if they get out of line, we can also weaponize that against them. Take what we gave them back. And that's the threat that all of them are under. They all are slaves within that system. Spent most of their life trying to get these degrees and stuff like that. And now they're trapped. That's a chess play. Wake up, people. They got y'all on lock. You're going to have to sacrifice all that to be free. But of course, most don't want to. And so that's why I say, man, trying to save people within this matrix is a waste of time when you have no alternative. They have to see that alternative. Just like in the Matrix movie, choose the red pill or the blue pill. But of course, they made that red pill look a whole lot more dramatic than reality. The reality is, you'll go to a piece of land you can call home. That land will nurture you. You will nurture it. You'd be at peace. The children would be happy. We would teach them how to be better than us. Educate them on the old ways so that they don't make the same mistakes we did. Keep that knowledge of our history on point. That's why they trying to take Black history out of the schools now. They know that that's what causes the Black people to rebel their system. That helps raise awareness of what's really going on. So why would they continue teaching you your history in their system when they don't care nothing about you? Blaming Black fathers is not the way to go. Supporting the Black fathers is the way to go. We all know our family lineage has been under so many different types of attacks to break down our structure to where it's at. Most of these kids that's out here that are struggling, poor, and all this type of stuff are the family lines that took the heavy hits of this system. Point blank period, they're victims. Why are we shaming them for being victims to this system? Because a lot of the people that are in position to make changes don't want to make changes. They don't want to give up their life of comfort. They made a decision to abandon their community when they joined because that was a requirement for them to be successful in the system. That's how they got it set up. So how smart are y'all really? Do y'all have what it takes to do better? Because y'all claim y'all out here talking big, like y'all just super this and super that. Because you got nice cars, nice house, nice clothes, hair did, nails did, looking the part, but don't own nothing as a community. And if you do, it's probably because you're band together with each other and abandoning your actual community, trying to recreate a new community within that system. Just a community of slaves, man. Just a community of house Negroes. It's all that will ever be in that system. That's what you're lining your children up for. Because if they were to manage, because you abandon the rest of your community to die off or whatever happens to them, you think that y'all won't replace them as far as later down the line as being the people that are on the end of these attacks, racial attacks, systematic attacks? That's how they keep the population down. They empower the weak, have them abandon the strong, and once the strong die off, the weak that they empowered are next in line. We got to do better. You don't have to. You can stay on that path if you want to. But those that are awake, consider this guiding light.